stream. It's so easy. Boom, we live. How we doing, boys?
I'm good. GM. Well, fucking.
GM. Well,
is
late.
Late?
You.
Bro, it is giga late, man. But hey, locked in.
So, what we want to cover today, boys? What's going on in the markets?
I think there was a.
You seen this layer shit? Yeah. What do you guys know about it? What's the alpha?
I already made money on it, but yeah, I think it was the founder of 4chan or 8chan launched a meme coin. It ran pretty hard, topped at like 40-50 mil. They set milestones as the coin kind of jumps in price. They'll reveal more utility, and I think it's on its way down now. So I got in at 6 mil, out at like 20 mil, and then yeah, see where it goes. But kind of done. I think that was the runner for today. Didn't get in early enough and got out, and it's come back down now. So yeah.
There's also
I thought it was an airdrop as well involved, or am I tripping?
Yeah, which layer are you speaking about? There's this So layer as well. There's like a new one that launched like literally today.
I don't know. I just saw in one of my chats somebody was like, "Yo, are you guys eligible for this?" But like they were probably just tripping, honestly.
Well, is this? I don't actually know that much about it, so let's look through this live. It'll be funny. It'll be good, informative for people. So okay, they're doing a Binance airdrop page live on the Binance airdrop portal in 6 hours. This was yesterday. Nice. They're listing it everywhere. Where else is it live? It'll be live on OX soon as well. Yeah, it's live everywhere, so nice. You can quote from it easily. Man, Bitcoin, rest of the market's not really doing super great today, is it? What do you guys believe in the full moon kind of shit on charts? I only say this because I have a good friend, Yoaquim, you know him as well, Leo, who just like he very much believes in all this kind of stuff. So he literally messaged me yesterday before we dumped and was like, "Big dump coming, watch out."
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't know what to think about it. Like I've heard a lot of good things about using that as a strategy. I've never done it. I'm not tempted to do it, respectfully, even though like a lot of people say good shit about it. But like I always think that in trading strategies, man, I think like to each their own. Like it took me years to figure out something that worked for me. And if you can fucking figure it out with the moon cycles, then fucking props on you, bro.
Notice that women in particular love trading with moon symbols. They like cycles. They love that shit.
Yeah, I think that's because they're like they operate on cycles as well, right? Like they're very used to their monthly cycles, so it makes sense to extend it to extend it to crypto. But is it a full moon? Doesn't that mean that the markets should like full moon as well? Like what's the verdict? Like what, you know?
No, it doesn't work like that. It's like it's more of a. Hang on, I'll just send you guys the stream link so you can repost it and stuff. I'll send it to you, Neat, as well.
Thanks.
I always search for you on Telegram and search Neat, and then it doesn't show anything, and I have to look up Giga Neat.
Yeah.
Just confirming that you are the ultimate Chad.
Yeah, I wanted a different Neat handle on like every platform just to like confuse everyone. But
just because then people have to think about your name more, so then they actually think about you more and know you better. Think about it that way.
Yeah, on Discord I'm like hyper neat. Like I just have a different handle everywhere, and then on chain as well. Yeah, like I want a different ENS as well, just to like fucking throw everyone off, so the feds can't figure out which one I am. So what's annoying as well is when people have the different symbols or characters on Telegram. So yeah, that throws people off too. But yeah, let me send that around in a few chats.
I got so lucky with my Telegram username and the fact that I got Yoaquim. There's just a guy on Twitter who has Yoaquim, and I'm so pissed about it, bro, because he hasn't posted since like 2011, but his website is live, so you can't get the username. Dickhead moment, man.
I need to get one of those little like portable kind of screens or something, just so I can stream when I'm on the go more.
Oh, you're just on your laptop solo right now?
Yeah, but I split my screen slightly so that I can That's why on the stream view, like the screen will be like a tiny bit smaller. But it works. It's fine. And then I've been uploading these to YouTube afterwards as like a full thing as well. So that's been cool. I'll see if Lukas wants to come on too.
Yeah, Lukas would be good to have. I just like the banter. It's just like good, you know. I think
Good vibes.
CoinDesk or some other they're just like constantly live streaming like the Bitcoin price and like just putting ads at the bottom. So it's like you might as well have just, you know, a bunch of like random shit talking happening while you're looking at charts. Like I was like tuned in yesterday and you guys what was that the base layer 3 coin that you guys ended up listing?
B3
did really well. Yeah. I was gonna say N2 or N3, but yeah, that's up like that's up like 100%. Like
how's
the
B3
OX.FUN
doing
effect.
today? Oh damn, yes, hella up. It's good. Wait, am I looking at the right thing?
I don't know. I would
I
just
think there's a
liquidity
next
tool,
screen.
so
honestly check
yeah,
it on
this one.
off.
I got it. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, that was good. That was a good list. W list from us.
Yeah, where was the Ox candle?
Yeah, look, no, look. We were literally on stream. It was like here. Boom.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
that's pretty awesome. I didn't do anything with the information, but like it's kind of cool to see you guys list it and then for it to pump.
Oh, you know what
yeah.
I could do? If I go, so typically we do try to integrate the historical price action on charts, but it just sometimes is a bit of delay on us doing it. So you can literally see from where it was listed on Ox right here to where it is now. That's actually hilarious.
That's like more bullish, right? It's like up only. I was looking at the chart before.
But that's the thing with any competitors. Like I see things that some competitors have, and I'm like, okay, nice props. But like the listing dates on these things are just incomparable, man. Like
Show
the
you like a funny arrow like this.
the moves I've caught on Ox are just like you just can't catch them anywhere else, man.
Yeah, I think
do like this.
Nico's drawing like a Picasso artwork. But yeah, I think
I have been called an artist.
Who, bruv? Who lied to you?
listed on
Don't lie to me. Neat, do you have how clued up on you on berachain stuff? Because I'm interviewing their head of DeFi today. So if you have any fun questions that you think are worth asking, such as, you know, why it's down, I don't know.
I mean, I'm very bearish berachain. I know it's kind of funny to say that, but I just think anytime you raise too much money, you can never meet the expectations. So I don't have any. I mean, I was going to shitpost about it, but I just think like we didn't need another chain. You know, it's kind of clever how they've done it, but like people don't care about clever things. They just want to make their money. So I just see every chain launching this quarter playing out like berachain, like overhyped. No amount of hype will ever live up to the expectation of actually shipping a product or a chain. People bridge, they make their money, they claim their airdrops, and they dump. People just don't value things they get for free. So it's kind of like bullish with like, yeah.
I think on the berachain side, it's like I've been pretty involved in the ecosystem, like not building anything or anything like that, but just like with the people. Like so many people were tired of it, man. They spent like 2 years or a year and a half or whatever it's been, like building this chain. I think about 2 years now, like building this chain that didn't exist, that didn't have any rewards at the end of it, and now finally it's live. Like so many people that had big airdrops just wanted to leave. So I think that's just like a tough part. Like, okay, we're kind of tired of it. Here's this airdrop that's gonna like literally be like millions in some people's cases. Like, what do you expect them to do, right? Like hold on to the tokens and sit around? I doubt it. But yeah, I sent you some questions. Like I might have dug it too deep.
I was just soaring. I really appreciate you sending that, by the way. Thank you.
That's probably gonna like, I don't know if some of those are a bit too deep maybe for like, I don't know.
I mean, I'll chat to him before we do like the interview properly and then, you know, see obviously what he's comfortable speaking about. But I think like if I was a head of a DeFi and like all this kind of stuff, like you kind of can't just miss some of these things. Like you can't just not answer questions. Like you can be political about it, answer them in certain ways, but you got to address the concerns of your community.
Yeah. I just know some stuff that like what they did, etc. So like I kind of hinted at it in the questions just to see if this motherfucker gonna say it.
Maybe let me check your messages now and see if we can We can speak about it a little bit. So, should I pull out some of these questions on stream, or what do you think?
Right now,
Or should we'll just discuss them?
I think the most interesting question is the one the last question I posed. And the reason I bring it up, I'm not going to name names with who I spoke to this about, but like a few months ago, I was sitting with some pretty big berachain people, very well educated, like very well like involved in the ecosystem. And I was like, and I just like studied the entire berachain ecosystem like a week before, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And for a long time, I did it. And I kind of sat down with them. I was like, boys, isn't it concerning to some degree that the way it works is like you have protocols and like these liquidity providers like kind of competing to attract liquidity and like proof of liquidity, and staking these like BGT tokens, which is their governance tokens, for validator rewards. So everybody is going to be like, essentially these LPs are going to be competing for these validator rewards, and whatever protocols like give
it
more.
Basically, it's whoever has the most money wins the most. But the
Yeah.
thing is that from their perspective, yes, it's not good for smaller projects, but at the end of the day, if you want to grow an ecosystem, you need a couple big winners. Why is it that every chain has a premier DEX? You know, things like this. Like you need at the end of the day, if it's too fragmented, it actually leads to poor execution most of the time. Like if you have 5 exchanges and liquidity is spread amongst all of them, then everyone's getting poorer execution on their orders. Whereas if you concentrate it on one, then general execution will probably be better for everyone if they're trading on it. So it's definitely not fair from a competition perspective. But
I think one of the issues is like, well, from my perspective, the way berachain was marketed to some degree is like this all-inclusive, like, and I fucking love Smokey. He knows that. I love all these guys, but like it was marketed as like a very like all-inclusive thing, but the infrastructure of it is extremely PvP. And like certain things that I think went wrong, or like what could have been done better, were like the partnerships.
What NFT is this, by the way?
What NFT?
Yeah, is this a custom one?
Yeah, I think that might be custom for Smokey, but it's called Steady Teddies. They exist.
Steady Teddies.
Collection.
It's definitely giving me like almost like Hypeo, Retardio vibes, but berachain. They're kind of sick. I can't lie.
Yeah, you have two. You have Mibera and you have Steady Teddies. I think Steady Teddies are the coolest ones by a long shot.
Is it ME or MA? Mibera?
No, MI.
Mibera. Oh, okay, like
the fella, but for bearers, yeah.
And then
Mibera maker.
It's pretty funny that they're, you know.
Oh, these are horrible.
I don't know. Yeah, they're pretty ugly.
These are vile. These make me feel sick. These are actually disgusting. Look, ugh. I just want to vomit in my mouth, bro. I'm backing. You know what? I'm unfollowing that Mibera bullshit. I don't even want that on my timeline, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Ugly ass. Triple derivative beta play.
Steady Teddies are fire though.
Beta plays.
Yeah, Steady Teddies are fire. I like Steady Teddies. I fuck with Steady Teddies. I heavy fuck with Steady Teddies. These are cool. How do can I buy them? Am I bridging to Bera right now?
Man, I'm finna bridge.
I'm finna bridge.
No, I think one of the things that would like Bera is like an overpromise for like the community of builders being like, yeah, we'll support everything, and then you kind of onboard Magic Eden, and then like into berachain as a partner, and then suddenly like all these NFT sales fucking, you know, places like Kingdomly are gonna have a big problem with like actually getting liquidity. If that's actually gonna happen, I don't know, but that's my assumption right now.
So my understanding with Magic Eden and like all NFT marketplaces is you can pay. I know you can do this with DeFi protocols like Aave. You can, if you launch a chain and you want to launch on Aave, you can pay them like $10 to $20 million and they'll support your chain. Because obviously that's going to bring a whole bunch of like liquidity and attention, and there's users. Pretty sure Magic Eden is the same. Like Ape Chain as well. There's obviously some kind of deal where like, you know, the Bored Apes, you know, basically paid for Magic Eden and like, hey, we're going to be your marketplace and we're going to support your chain. I think it's the exact same thing with berachain. If you raise hundreds of millions of dollars, you can pay to get listed on Binance on day one. You can pay for Magic Eden. You can pay for anyone. So that's my take on the situation. I think as well, like more fundamentally, everyone well, not everyone in crypto Twitter, like Nico's pretty handsome, but like you got a lot of incels, right? So when you have a community like Bera Baddies, you're just gonna piss off like all the single guys who like can't get girls.
This was
So
supposed to be my doc stream, by the way, Nico.
Oh yeah. I
I
mean, bro,
got-
you were showing me your setup and stuff. It looked badass.
Yeah, no, it's all ready, man. But I'm just like, I'm
Let's
being a
go.
pussy. I ain't gonna cap. No, but I get that. I think,
It's all right. You're gonna come out to Asia. We're gonna stream IRL. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
bro, the thing is like 5 a.m. this stream right now. Like I'm just too cooked to sit here on cam.
that's
No.
dedication, man.
It's chill.
That's
I'm sorry?
dedication. Like 5 a.m. is dedication.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
It's 5 a.m. I'm just 5:10 actually, but I'll stay awake, bro. A few Red Bulls in, a few coffees in, like we just fucking.
What's the
hustle.
NFT marketplace on Bera then?
That's gonna be.
There's one.
I think the thing is they partnered like Honey Jar, which is one of the biggest projects on Bera, partnered with Magic Eden, which to me is controversial to say the least. But Kingdomly is gonna be.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
it's gonna be one of the OG ones, so to speak.
So what's actually live so far? There's really not much live, is there?
No, I think a lot of shit delayed, in my opinion, like compared to what I'd expect. Like, I thought it was going to be like day one, everything goes live. It's going to be fucking insane. Thousands of meme coins will dominate the entire meme coin market. And in reality, it was like berachain went live, the Bera token traded, it traded down, and nothing else happened. Like, it was pretty anticlimactic.
I think because that happened with Blast as well. Do you guys remember day one of Blast? Like it was massively hyped, but like nothing came out of it besides like Fantasy Top after a couple months. I think the exact same thing is going to happen with berachain. Like I don't see any memes like actually succeeding on berachain. They might try to force a runner, but like there's no like even though Blast had like $2 billion of TVL, no good meme came out of Blast. That's like still alive now, right? Like Loomdart tried to launch one. There were like many attempts, but like nothing ended up running. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Bera. So I'm honestly going to open like probably open a Bera. I won't open a Bera short, but
Bro, it's flooding my Bera bags on stream.
I
It's funny
don't
though,
think
because
Bera will make it.
I have a couple of friends who I'm gonna get Waj on stream this week. He's awesome. He is founder of IVX, which is an options protocol. And like I know he was saying to me, like, damn, they're really gonna let me buy a discounted bag of Bera at these prices. Is crazy.
Yeah, and I bought in at 7.5. I bought a few K, thinking like it was like a backup plan. If the trenches do move to Bera temporarily at any point, then I have a bag of Bera sitting there, and I don't have to bridge, and I can just like throw that on Bera bot or one of these bots that has berachain support, and just like Kodiak, or I think it's called Panda bot, which is Kodiak's. I just trade some meme coins and say fuck it. But that has not happened, and my bag is down atrociously. So
Yeah.
Did you catch
he
anything
basically
on day
listed a
one?
bunch of cool projects here.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I catch any meme coins Bera day one?
Yeah.
No, man. I just because the thing is Bera bot wasn't fucking working yet, so I just opted out. Because it said live day one, Thun, and then it just that was all it said.
I'm actually surprised they launched it all, to be honest. Like it just felt like I've been around since like 2017 in crypto. It was like Ethereum 2.0. They just kept like hyping it and teasing it, and then it never ended up launching. They just ended up changing the name and scrapping it entirely. I just think like we're not in the DeFi part of the cycle where people care about yield. Like obviously if you have like $1 million, you care about getting getting some stable coin yield, and you might bridge to Bera. But like Solana has just like won the degen narrative. Like Pump Fun is just going to keep dominating, and everyone will like be tourists on these chains, but they'll just bridge, maybe farm some money. But like without a token, I basically like because Bera token's already live, I basically see no reason to bridge there. Like I just see the entire TVL of the ecosystem just slowly dying.
I wouldn't be surprised. And I say that with like support for most of berachain and like all the guys there, and I think what they've built is interesting, and even valid to some degree. I just don't think there's an appetite for it.
I'd rather look at the Floyd AI chart than the berachain chart. It's like infinitely more interesting.
I mean, it's a great meme. It's a great meme.
It's a great meme, man. People love it's super like viral on Instagram. Like my normie cousins like
Bro,
send
I've been
me
getting
these
so
memes.
many on Instagram. I didn't know if it was my like crypto feed or if it was like actually normal.
No, like it's look at the engagement on the Instagram post too. It's a lot of sends in group chats, so people obviously find this stuff hilarious, and they're like sending it around to their friends, and they're not actively like liking or like commenting on it. But yeah, there's like meme pages with like millions of views on some of these reels. So even my best performing like content on Twitter is just like George Droid memes. So yeah, just got to
So
stick to
funny.
what works.
Dude, I think
bro,
everybody,
Lucas, are you with us?
I think everybody has like bridging PTSD. Like, I don't know. Can you hear me? We're coming in.
Yeah,
Nice. Like, it seems like there's just no reason for like young kids to bridge to other chains now. Cause like everyone, all of the old cells from last cycle are like, yeah, dude, you bridge to the new ecosystem and then the whole thing rises and the TL goes up. But like the only kids that I know that are like early bridgers and making money are ones that are just like, I deployed my sniper on this new chain and I'm able to snipe every single coin at launch. And for 1 week, I will snipe and then dump every single shitter that is deployed on this chain. And then I will move it off to the next chain. Like that's the entire like generational wealth strategy for like new, but it's like nobody even wants to really
like
compete with that actually.
It's just daily runners, but with chains. So like now you had like the B3 chain, the gaming chain. Oh yeah, by the way, Lucas, you know when we tried that yesterday, it's now up like 2.5x since then.
It looked like it was a pretty good chart, right? Like yeah. The website, I don't know. The website pissed me off, but the chart did look good, and I think charts are more important than websites. Yeah, that looks like a decent chart.
But yeah, I think you're right, Lucas. I think like, you know, I don't know why berachain spent so long shipping a chain when like we already have like so many existing chains and most people are tourists. They try things for 1 day, they hold coins for less than 1 day, and then they give up, right? So if they can't figure out a way to retain or like attract new money, it's basically just going to be like a liquidity black hole. And like, I think Bera's like
100%.
slowly go to zero. But like won't actually go to zero because there's obviously VCs and there will be like some base layer of like liquidity that stays there. But like Monad, right? Another example, like VC backed, really hyped. Like no one's going to use the chain, right? Let's be honest.
I think the thing is just like in order to launch and like actually get users, you have to meaningfully give users a consumer app or product that they want that moves them off of Solana, right? Like, and so it's like that actually is an application. It's not a chain because Solana is performant enough as a chain that like nobody is sitting there being like, fuck these waiting times, or like, like these transactions aren't landing. Like it has happened acutely, but like they've mostly worked past those scaling problems. And like it takes something like the president of the United States launching a shitter secretly in order to like break the chain now, which is like there's only so many times things like that can happen, right? Like the next major one is maybe if like Visa decides to say we're going to use this as like the settlement layer, right? Like Solana is going to be our settlement layer. Like that could also probably like break Solana. But like in the end, it's like the thing that pulls people in is like a product, a consumer app. Last cycle was like the chain cycle where we all invested in the like multi-billion-dollar idea of these speculative chains or ecosystems that would be so much better than Ethereum. But like that only existed because we were comparing everything to Ethereum. And when you do that, everything seems really fast and good, right? But like now that we're comparing it to Solana, it's like all the same. Like everything lands in the same amount of time. You can do all the same things. You have like yield, you have the ability to swap. There's like DeFi lending stuff. Yeah, like you need a new thing.
Yeah, and like just on that white paper you're on, Nico, it says as well like 1 million transactions per second. Are we still at that part of the cycle where anyone gives a fuck? Yeah, like it's just ridiculous. That's why I like you know, N2. It's like I'm finna bridge. No one actually bridged because there was nothing to do. But it's bridging is almost a meme at this point.
But I think that's like the whole. I was speaking to some like builders over the weekend, and I think a lot of builders from the previous cycles have like entered this cycle planning very strategically how they're going to make billions, just to find out that this cycle is so fundamentally different, and the only people who've printed like an insane amount of money is like it's anything to do with pump.fun, any meme coins, anything like that has actually done well this cycle. And it's just a fundamental shift from like not just previous cycle, but the cycle before that. I think they're just like incomparable. I think 2017 to 2021, etc., is still comparable to some degree, but this one is just so different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though this
getting
cycle has been like a massive scam cycle, I do like actually though that it's like, because last cycle it was sort of like selling vapor, if we're being honest. Like,
Yeah.
and like this cycle, it's like there's a lot of vapor selling, but like there are actual products that are usable, right? Like this, there are still websites that I could show my mom and be like, look at this. This is the industry that I work in. And she'd be like, wow, like that's a beautiful website. Whereas last time it was like I could show her any of those sites and she would just feel confused, right? Like she would feel her brain being like accosted by all of these strange user interface elements that just are like so unintuitive that they give you a migraine upon receipt.
Yeah, I think even this cycle, there's a few things that like from last cycle that I thought like this is actually an improvement. Like from like OpenSea, even though it's ETH and Tensor is Sol. Like Tensor is a great platform. I really like it to trade NFTs.
I think everything on Sol won.
Tensor's
Like
good.
Phantom Wallet. Phantom's like the best wallet out there. Like
I
bar
love
none.
Thing. He's a fucking great guy and a fucking amazing
Jupiter's a great product. There's like a lot of good products this cycle, and even things like Moonshot, right? Like you have like normies, and what's that new app where you can scroll through and people tweet when they buy coins and it shows it on
Is
a
it
chart.
Vector?
Yeah, Vector. Yeah, Vector.
Oh,
Like
you
I
mean the
remember seeing.
OXFUN degen feed? That's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah. I
fucking
knew it.
The OXFUN
I
degen feed.
knew Neetocracy was on our side.
I've tweeted a few. I think I tweeted like Droid AI.
Look at
George
this.
Floyd.
You guys shorted Floyd AI is like the king eats. Lol.
I shorted like I shorted CAR yesterday at like the absolute pico bottom, and then I wound up being down like 550% in like 1 hour, and then I just held it for 2 hours, and I was up like 500%. Like I was like, wow, the downward price action of this coin is like truly something to be remarked upon. This is like outstanding. Like it's so down only that even though I should have by all means had my asshole blown out on that short, like I was still saved by the infinite dumping.
Yeah, dude, I fucking read somewhere, and maybe you guys have more info on it, but the Central African Republic like government said they made 50K on it.
No way.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, triple the treasury, bro.
I read this somewhere online. I was like, bro, there's wallets that made like 2 mil each on this, like top traders, and you're telling me none of them was you guys, and you guys only ended up with 50K in profit. Like you,
but I like genuinely believe that, because like the big thing that I've learned from all of these like celeb and like company launches is that like the person who profits is never the person who like attaches their name to the thing. Like it's always the team that convinces them to launch and says, dude, like, trust me, bro. Like, I've done this. I'm a professional. Like, I know all about launch dynamics. Like, I'm going to set you up. We're going to go to fucking 20 billion on day one. Like, that's the guy who makes all the money. And then it's like the person who's like tweeting it out on their account that makes like 20K and winds up like selling their soul.
Yeah, and getting all the blame as well when the coin goes down. Which is the funniest part.
I'm gonna tweet at the guy, the president of Car.
Just send him like a sympathetic message, like, man, I'm sorry. Like you deserved to steal 20 million from the market for this. It's such a shame that you only sold 20K. Like you should have stolen so much more. The world isn't fair.
Bro, what is the all-time high on this thing? Was it like 800 mil?
Bro, it went to like 700-800 mil. It was insane.
Yeah, it was actually like 800 mil.
I saw it at like 20.
I think I shorted it at like 40 mil and still made like a fuck ton. Like that was insane.
I saw it at like 20 mil on I was on Neo, and I saw it like on the post graduation, and I was sitting there and I was like, because like about a month and a half ago there's this whole meta where all these fucking fake African coins were launching. So I just saw it and was like, fucking bundled scam that's gonna rug in a second. And I saw it at like 80 mil and I was like, what the fuck, whatever. And I checked back and then all my chats were raving about it. I was in some Super Bowl coins like a dickhead, thinking I was gonna print off the Eagles or whatever. And I ended up fucking I made money on it, but still, like, I faded that shit from 20 mil. Never fade the government, boys.
I think it's never fade a pump either. Like there was a whole bunch of Kanye coins that were launching, and like they were on like Solana, Meteora, LP, and it was like there actually wasn't like the amount of liquidity that they said there was. I guess Trump's the exception, right? Trump didn't launch a pump fund, but like tokens that are on pump, 9 times out of 10, they're like pretty fairly launched, and like they might dump, but they're not going to go to like 0, 0. They might go to like 5k or 10k minimum, right? So if you see something on pump that's like absolutely skyrocketing, and then you just do like a quick social search, you usually you found a runner. And especially when the volume is like absolutely absurd, it's like if the chart starts glitching out, that's probably the biggest indicator of a runner. Like if you go on Deck Screener and it's like spazzing out the prices, like the chart and the market cap is actually different to what the candles say, then yeah, you've probably found a runner or the runner of the day.
Like my entire thesis for runners is literally just like my filters at like 400k. It was 900k 2 weeks ago, but after the markets got cooked, I put it down to 400, and I just sit there and like I see something pop over 400k, I check it. If the fucking candle's like being retarded, like you're saying, and you just see the amount of volume, I just fucking ape big, and usually you get at least a 2x, like minimum, from that 400k price point. That's the only way to play the trenches. I think volume plays the current.
You just completely like your alpha is going to be diluted literally by 6 hours. Like the like 50 people in this stream listening to that who are going to try it are all going to set that filter. I hope you lied about your number that you put the filter at, because otherwise your strategy is cooked.
What, these 50 people with 0.4 soul in their wallet are going to cook my strategy, bro?
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, 0.4 soul times 50, dude. They're like you were putting in your 2 soul. Now they're putting in also 2 soul. Like you're completely diluted. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm tweeting at this guy, and I'm saying,
look how much
French,
Central African Republic made. You know, you don't think they're going to scoop up 40 times 0.5 soul, 20 soul. That's a big win. What does that say, Nico?
Everyone
so
is out to get me.
This says, hello, Mr. This guy. I wanted to send you a message to ask you nicely to pay me back for the money I lost because of car. Thank you very much.
You're not even like responding. You just like laugh. You're like, you end the sentence.
Lol.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Queen did cook on that Faith Cabal video.
Yeah, that was
that shit. You know, the Aiden Ross foot massage. That shit killed me.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking, Yoaquim, like I'll speak to Clicker about it, but we should try and make some AI viral videos for Ox, like just to get attention. I think it'd be so bullish.
But who's sniffing whose feet, bruv?
Yeah, like I was gonna say, now that Lukas is like face doxed, like I feel like someone's just gonna make an AI video of him kissing someone else. Like that's my new greatest fear.
That sounds fine to me, you know.
Yeah, there's already a bunch of that stuff. I mean, back in the day, they would just like, back in the day, they would just like copy paste like a still from like a YouTube video or something that I made and like just paste it onto some other thing. So it's like, I don't know, with AI, it's probably just much more seamless of a process now. But I do think that, like, you know, that Boomer video where they had all of the, like the celebs wearing the like, fuck Kanye, like middle finger shirt and like going, like, there's really no reason. Yeah, there's no reason to not make a video of like the entire Ethereum Foundation, like standing together with their arms crossed saying like, I stand with OX.FUN. Why? And then they they basically just read out like the white paper or something like that. Like, you know, just ship it. Why not?
Precisely.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we've been getting a bunch of like super good organic engagement from a bunch of guys about Ox, which has been really good to see. A couple of things actually we were asked to address potentially on stream we can go over now. So one is, I think a lot of users are a bit uncertain as to like what collateral is and what cross margin means. So let's go into that. I guess Lukas, you can support me and tell me if I miss anything. But TLDR on Ox, you can deposit a multitude of assets from pretty much any chain. Let's check which we got pretty much everything you need. Anything from any relevant chain you can deposit. Solana, Base, ETH, BNB. I mean, the chains show depending on what token you do, but you can literally do everything. And right now we have over 828 different coins that you can deposit to the exchange. And the LTVs associated with each one is basically the percentage you'll be able to take relative to the value of your collateral at like a 1x leverage position. So if I was to deposit, for example, $10,000 worth of Bearer tokens with an LTV of 0.9, I could take a 9K position at 1x leverage, or an 18K position at 2x leverage, and so on and so on. And based on how the value of this bearer changes, my liquidation price will slightly change also. So if my collateral, in this case, bearer, halves in value, then my margin is worth half as much, which means that to cover my position with regards to like liquidations, my liquidation price is going to most likely move up twice as high. So these are kind of things to take into account.
Definitely a concern, because these were questions I was getting while like I was on the stream with the bearer baddies, and they were like, okay, so what if my bearer drops by 50%, which admittedly it literally did.
Yeah, which it did, yeah.
Yeah, and if they were in positions and they left those positions open, they would have been liquidated like 50 or like 100% times faster, like 2 times as fast.
Unless you deposit bearer and then you short bearer on OX as well, right?
You can also do that.
Yeah.
The other thing would be,
I mean, this is honestly, bearer, like, frankly, go for it.
If your bearer doubles in value, your liquidation will move down. So it can also work in your favor slightly.
I mean, the important thing really is that it's just coin collateral. And like, this isn't really something that there are a lot of other ways to do this cycle. Like, you can just deposit anything you're holding without selling, meaning like you don't have to worry about the short versus long-term capital gains thing. You don't have to worry about like selling the bottom. If you're holding something and you're like, fuck, like I think it's going to go up eventually, but like, I'm just sort of stuck in this position now, which is like, it's pretty common. Like I have a lot of meme coins that like I've basically just used as collateral to like long Bitcoin or something like that when I think it's going to be good, because there's not really any other way that I can get yield safely from a lot of these shitters, because like yield farming shitters is actually getting like very dangerous. Like even just tossing them in an LP and being like, like maybe I'll get some yield. It's like, yeah, dude, you get like 20% yield, but like the coin itself depreciates like 80% over that period, and like you still wind up losing quite a lot unless you time things very well.
Yeah, I feel like liquidity, the impermanent loss can absolutely destroy you. Even if you set like single-sided positions as well. We're getting outside of the scope of collateral, but like, yeah, I think LP is like a dangerous game to play if you don't know what you're doing. But collateral is a pretty easy way to like not sell your coins and go long or short other coins. Like it doesn't make any sense to like sell something to long something else. Just like rotate it. Like if you've got like a MOG bag, well, MOG's not going to go to zero, right? So just set your liquidation price low, and you're good. You might as well put your MOG on OX.FUN and like, leverage trade MOG and try and stack your bag a bit higher, right?
Yeah, that was exactly what I did. Was I just used all of my meme coin positions to just like take really, really, really low leverage like Bitcoin longs. Like I'm a huge pussy with my leverage. It's like very frequent that my my actual total account like position is like lower than like 0.1x leverage.
Yeah, because you're never getting liquidated. If you set your liquidation price on Bitcoin at like, I don't know, 10K, like we're not even on a scam week, you're never seeing prices that low. So it's basically like if Bitcoin goes up at some point in the future, which, hopefully it will under Trump, almost definitely, but you can't be like, well, I'll just say it, like Bitcoin will 100% trade at like some higher price than it will like right now, talking like weeks, months, years into the future. Basically like free money, It's an infinite money glitch to use leverage if you use it responsibly. Minus like funding rates and other stuff, of course. But yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a pussy as well, Lucas. Don't worry about it.
Our OLP vault here as well, you can deposit basically any coin that is, you see on this list, and we're going to always be expanding this, but a bunch of the big memes and all of the main relevant coins you can probably think of, you can deposit into here and earn this, currently 48% yield, but this has been close to 60 to 100% recently. It's been, profiting super well. Another thing that some people were asking was, what is OX P&L? Like why OX P&L, and how potentially you can hedge that. So the entire exchange runs on the OX token, meaning that when you trade and it kind of bounces off all the collateral stuff we were just speaking about. Let's say I take a $10,000 position on going long Bitcoin, for example. The position is actually denominated in OX. So I'm actually long, 10,000 OX worth of Bitcoin, which means that if the price of OX doubles while my trade is open, the total value of my trade will be 2 times as high. So now my 10K position is worth 20K. So that means that if I make profit, my profit is doubled because my position is twice as big. If I lose money, my losses are doubled because my position is twice as big. But this can also, I guess, work in your favor, right? If you are, let's say you're down on your trade and the price of OX goes down, then now your loss is smaller. So it's a couple of things you want to definitely take into account, but everything being in OX is what enables us to have a pretty good flywheel with the whole exchange, and also what allows us to list a lot of these very new and, maybe more risky things that other people don't want to list. When I talk about, other exchanges and stuff like that. And in terms of, I guess, potentially hedging some of your OX exposure within a position, the best way to do that would be simply to short OX in a similar amount to your position size of whatever you're trading. To do that effectively, you probably want to not use super high leverage, and you want to make sure you have enough margin in your account that you can both have the position you are trading open and also an equivalent OX hedge. And most likely, the funding on OX, I'm assuming right now, is positive. Yeah, it is. So you would actually also make money on your hedge while doing it. And you just need to pay attention to the size of your position as you might manage that hedge and stuff. But definitely something that you can do for sure. I don't know if you, Lucas, or anyone has any comments on that.
Not particularly. I think one thing to get into a bit deeper is the OLP. I think a lot of people are not going to understand what that actually is, and the different, like, I don't know, inflows of where the yield and APR is actually coming from. Especially in terms of like just having, I believe, what is it currently sitting at, the percentage of trading fees that are going to the OLP?
30% of trading fees daily.
Yeah, so that's one source of APR. Then of course, the OLP is actually taking the counterparty trades on the most of them on the exchange. So if that should like generate a certain amount of revenue. And then I think there's 1/3 source of revenue for the OLP as well. So generally, like, I just think that a lot of people are not aware of what this is or any of the strategies. I don't know what those strategies do, to be honest. Zero clue, but my stakes are apparently like 50x some amount I threw.
Yeah, so OP is I think actually the simplest to understand off the bat. It's very similar to Hyperliquid's HLP. So OX has an internal market maker who is taking the opposite side of any trade. Everyone always asks, why can't I just short all of these meme coins on chain? Like, surely it's so easy. You just let me like borrow some money and like I short this thing, and then, bang, everyone loves it and everyone's a winner. But remember that like to offer a trade, someone has to always be on the other side of the trade. So that's like by definition the biggest challenge you have in it as an exchange. And so the OX internal market maker takes the other side of all these trades, and for a long time we're always having to use our own treasury in terms of tokens to do that. And so that means that all the P&L from the exchange is earned by us, right? But by depositing to OLP, you basically are becoming a share of this liquidity that the market maker is using, and you're therefore profiting from the P&L of that market maker on the exchange. And you're also, by definition of taking the opposite of every trade, you are going to be earning the funding rate on basically every single market, which, aggregated across all of them is probably quite a lot. You're also earning across the bid-ask spread at the same time. And now that we're directing fees from the exchange fees every day, 30% of those fees are now going to OLP, which is going to be pretty big. So it's not here right now. We're going to be adding it this week, but we're going to be adding a like 7-day rolling average of the fees that are accumulated via the 30% fees to OLP in here as well. And so you can actually hedge your exposure to OLP also. So here you can see the top 10 positions that basically users on the exchange have taken, and that therefore the market maker is taking. And you could deposit into OLP, and you could hedge by, based on your proportion in the vault, like taking an equivalent position in the opposite direction on some of these coins if you wanted to hedge potentially, right? And in terms of the other strategies, so these are not just like simple staking strategies. What these are basically two-sided grid trading strategies, which are buying and selling, Bitcoin, Sol, or ETH at varying ranges. Bitcoin's about 8, I think ETH is 8, and Sol is a bit more, and the OX.FUN is a bit more as well. The more volatile the coin, the bigger the range. And so what's happening is, like, as these coins are going up and down, it's selling on the way up. It's like shorting on the way up, and it's buying on the way down. So you're always kind of going counter to the market. And so as long as these assets chop sideways, you're going to be profiting a lot in the middle. And we're then also incentivizing just via, OX yield deposited into these vaults to everyone that deposits. And so the benefit of this is that you have a bunch of orders across BTC, Sol, ETH that are being actually put into the books on OX, meaning that the liquidity to trade majors on OX is much better because the counterparty to your trades is partially the guys in these vaults. And so therefore, that's why we're giving the incentives via the yield, the super high yields that you see, because we want to have good liquidity on majors on OX. We want people to be able to come deposit any collateral and trade Bitcoin, Sol, ETH. Whereas, for example, on Hyperliquid, like, you can only deposit USDC to trade Bitcoin, Sol, ETH. So that's super cool. The risk you face is if Bitcoin, Sol, ETH have super big moves. So the way that these vaults work is that your deposit is not basically managed in isolation. Everyone's deposits in these vaults are managed together. And every time a certain amount of OX gets deposited into this vault, a new, effectively, like, algorithm starts with a new plus or minus 8% range. And every time the Bitcoin price gets outside of this plus 8 or minus 8% range, then that, like, let's say a couple million OX tokens, which is like maybe 50 to 100K or whatever, will stop. That algorithm will stop. It will no longer trade, so it won't get more P&L. But the other ones will keep trading. And so you're basically getting these, like, multiple algorithms at different ranges in Bitcoin price that are constantly, like, switching on and off and trading based on when people deposit and the price of Bitcoin. So you're scalping all the way across, and the P&L is then shared proportionally amongst all the people that deposited in that vault. Plus, you're also getting all of the yield on top that we're giving out to people who are depositing.
So just to cut in, Nico, Lukas got kicked off the stream, and I think he wants you to, like, see some messages from him. Yeah, I'll try and get him back on in some way.
Let's go.
We are so back. Okay. So, dude, Nico, you know what we should actually do? Like, what we actually have to do with these player vaults is, like, we have to go around, we have to find some random girl on the side of the street, and we have to mansplain to her the player strategies for, like, and then we give her like $10,000 if she can sufficiently explain back to us at the end of that 30-minute period how they work. I think honestly it can be any number because it's probably impossible. It's probably impossible. I think there's like 20 people who understand how these work, and it didn't take 30 minutes. It takes like 30 hours of hearing it explained generally for the average person. So it would be really safe for us to offer basically an unlimited amount of money.
What if we went to, like,
the video series?
I'll offer them the OX keys to, like, mint an unlimited amount of OX directly to their personal wallet.
Yeah,
like, you will own the exchange if you can explain this.
Yeah, you will be a majority shareholder of OX.FUN if you can understand.
But what's the TLDR? What's like the 5 second? Is it like number go up?
TLDR is you make money if market goes sideways.
Okay.
Exactly.
And you want to be
ETH
Sol.
Yes, and you basically want it to be ranging in an area, and then when you think that coin is going to stop ranging, you want to move it to another coin that you think is going to range. That is the optimal way to play it. And it's actually like sort of a fun game because like there aren't many other things that let you bet on something ranging. It's like obviously longing and shorting, you're betting on the coin going up or down. If it ranges forever, you just bleed on funding. So this is like the way to do the inverse of that. If you think the market is going to be boring as hell, then you just go and put in this instead.
And can you use your strategies as your OLP or strategies as collateral, or is this like a separate system? Because
we're adding that. We're going to be collateralizing your OLP stake and stuff like that, or rather making it so that when you deposit, let's say you deposit $1 million worth of fart coin into OLP, you'll be able to still trade with that fart coin on the exchange. But obviously, if you lose it on the exchange, it will be withdrawn as stake from OLP.
Got it.
So we're going to be tokenizing, I guess, it's not actually really tokenizing. It's more like
everything will be collateral. At some price of OX, every single asset that you own will be used as collateral. You will be able to use your car, your mortgage. Everything is going to be collateral to either bet on the market going up or down or sideways. Everything.
I think you should call it sideways, not strategies, like because that's literally what it is. You're making money while the market goes sideways.
This is genuinely our most debated branding question in OX. Like we've talked so many times about like what we should call the player strategies, and we've like renamed it from the player product that this is already confused them. So we were like, we need to come up with a new name. So we named them strategies. But then it's also like there's the fantasy top strategies. So then that also became like confusing in its own right. Sideways, like there was a period where we were talking about maybe calling it crab. I don't know if anyone has any ideas for like what implies what it actually does the best so that it can be like the most intuitive name possible. We genuinely would love to hear, because this is like, again, like this is our big question mark.
I think maybe what about chop, like make money when the market chops? Like I think these are like trading, crab and chop are like trading terms that people use. But I think sideways, like if you go up to a random girl on the street, you're like, hey, you can make money when these markets trade sideways. I mean, they'll probably get control of the OX.FUN exchange, but I mean, I think it works, right?
We don't even care. We want people to control the exchange who understand how it works. That's the goal. It should be a CTO exchange owned by the only 50 people in the world who understand the player strategies.
Yeah, I think we'll do some more like almost seminar style sit down videos and explain them and put them up, because I agree, like you can go to some girl and try to get her to explain it and see if she understands it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that some of this more complicated stuff is built for a more like complicated audience, or like at least a very crypto native audience. Like I don't necessarily expect people who are like not getting like super deep into this stuff to want to deposit into this kind of thing. I would love if they did, and I'm down to try to see what we can do, but I think it's also like picking the right audience that actually wants to interact with these things.
We should actually explain it to like a TradFi trader. This would be really funny.
Yeah, this is what
like,
I'm saying.
What if we we should find someone who works at like literally like somebody who is like a senior associate at like a TradFi fund, and explain it to them, and like then you let all the crypto people feel good if they're like, you know what, this guy this guy managing like a $2.4 billion fund, he doesn't fucking understand what they're saying either. So maybe I'm not an idiot. Maybe I'm a genius.
Anything else we want to cover on today's stream? And otherwise we can probably wrap this up pretty soon. We've been live for nearly an hour. I don't know how that happened. Yeah.
Just back on OLP. Can you pull up that strategies thing again?
Of course.
So OLP, what's the strategy with OLP?
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean to how do you best play it?
Yeah.
So to be honest, OLP is actually the simplest. Like that really isn't a strategy. The strategy would be you want to like maximize your deposit in there. So considering that all the assets you deposit in have an LTV, the asset with the highest LTV is OX. So if you're holding OX, like you're trading on OX, your profits are in OX on the exchange, compounding your profits into this vault and earning basically yield on your profits that you're making in OX already, and the tokens you're holding as an investment as part of the exchange long term, that's probably your best bet. But also taking all of your idle meme coins, altcoins, Sol, ETH, anything that maybe you're not really earning any yield on or doing anything with, or maybe there's nothing you can even really do with it elsewhere, because most platforms don't even accept these coins as like any form of anything. You can actually deposit them all into here and basically earn yield. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking with OLP, right? Like, does that makes OLP earns yield based on trading volume on OX? Is that right?
It earns based on trading. It earns based on the trading volume, but also on the funding fees.
Funding fees. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually,
you know
what, the fact that we're giving the 30% fees is like so bullish, because it's, as you say, like you're literally earning based on the exchange volume now as well, which I think is like a metric that probably a lot of people would want to bet on.
Yeah, because I've got some OX tokens, but they're just like sitting, not doing anything as like collateral. It like basically makes no sense to have them sitting there. Obviously, like if you're actively trading, then yeah, but you might as well like deposit them as LP and earn like some extra rewards from funding rates.
Exactly.
Which is a subset of trading.
That's literally what you're doing. Yeah. And therefore you're also helping make the platform better, because we're able to basically provide better liquidity therefore on all pairs.
Got it. Okay. Well, I've got to get some OLP then.
The last thing you always have to cover is the leaderboard, man. Because
true. The leaderboard is so fucking bullish, actually, and it's like this thing that I almost don't want to shill it, because I have accounts that are like, they have so little profit yet they're still earning on the leaderboard, and I like don't want to like I don't want to stop the gravy train, but we have to. It's too good.
Okay, exactly. Like you have to market this, because like we can talk about hyperliquid and people getting rich off of it, but this is gonna, like 2 years from now or a year from now, there's gonna be some people on here that are gonna reflect on the leaderboard that they put their account there like a year ago, never fucking withdrew, and are gonna realize they're sitting on an extra like 6 figures. Literally.
There's a bunch of guys here basically made like 20, 30, 40K in extra OX just because they held their profits in OX.
This is over,
and this is over like a month or two. Like,
a month and a half.
Yield on this is
here, let's just explain the concept of the leaderboards generally. It's basically, if you are within the top 50 people on the OX leaderboards and you are still holding all of the OX that you made as profit or more on the platform. So like if you go and you buy more OX on top of that, you also have more, then you are going to be earning, I believe it is 5% of the total trading fees distributed among those top 50, right? But like, this is this is right now sort of like poorly understood by users on our platform. So if there's somebody who is technically like in the top 50th, but they're not holding their profits because they've sold or withdrawn their OX off the platform, then you're not earning that yield. So the person below them who is then instead gets those rewards. So like, I think in order to be on the leaderboard, you need to be now in like the top like 500 or something on the platform, which is like what is the number? It's like 20K or something, or 10K. So it's like, if you have like 10 to 20K,
I believe.
It is. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you have 11K in profits on the platform, you're earning something like ludicrous, like 2000% APR.
Yeah. Which I think results in, like, last I checked, that was like 80 bands per year. For the lowest. Nico, you're muted.
Thank you. Sorry. It's a rating outside, so I muted myself. Yeah, I mean, like Lukas here has, 36K profit on this account, and he's made 6K. So let's just call it around a sixth. So what's a sixth in terms of, it's like 16% APY or something like that in the last like 2 months or month and a half.
And he's pretty high up on the leaderboard. And I think the way it works is the lower you are, the higher your APR is. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, that is how it goes. Like the person who's at the very bottom is like they're getting like ludicrous APR, There is an optimal strategy here that I'm not going to tell, but if you think about it, you'll realize what the best way to play the leaderboard is.
No snitching.
Yeah,
No
don't make it too
snitching.
easy. Step one is I need to make a profitable trade. I'm down on my ticket Bitcoin long, so it might be a while before that one picks up. I might just have to close it at a loss. But
I'll farm the funding rate.
Farm the funding rate. So does that, just on that note, does that include OLP? Like if you keep your OX in OX.FUN and you deposit in OLP, does that count as like?
Yeah, as long as the OX is like still in your account. Now, if you do lose it in any of the vaults, then obviously it's gone, and it's like you have to buy more to make up the difference for whatever you hold. But the way you can check to see if you have enough OX in your like if you are at that point of you're holding your profits or you have more, you can go on the leaderboard and you see that little badge on next to your name that says that you are earning rewards.
Yeah, I think the thing for me, because I've traded on like Bybit and other exchanges before, I think like seeing the negative OX tokens when you have a position open, it just like threw me off a little bit, because that's effectively what you're doing, right? When you're longing like ticker Bitcoin, you're shorting OX as well, right? Where if OX goes down, your liquidation price is lower. Like it just took me a bit of time to
I don't think it's not necessarily shorting. It's the same thing as BitMEX, where you should basically like, you know how on BitMEX, when you trade, you use Bitcoin as collateral. And so like, but the thing is on BitMEX, most people would long or short Bitcoin with Bitcoin as collateral. So it was much like more intuitive to understand than if you're longing a different asset using a totally different asset. But the basic idea is that like, if the price of OX goes up and you are in profit, then like, like let's say you're up like 1 million OX in profit, and the price of OX doubles, then it's like now your margin goes down by 50%, and you're up 2x on your profits, right? So instead of like, oh, like I made like 10,000, now it's 20,000, and the same goes in reverse also.
Yeah, I think it's just like mentally, it's a big leap for people to make to like price P&L in OX.
Yes,
but it makes sense. Like from like you want to be as long OX as possible, right?
It's really one of those things that like most people, when they use the platform, they instantly like switch off of it and they're like, I don't care. Like, why are you showing like OX P&L? I don't give a shit about this. But then after like 2 to 3 months of using it, people generally go like, oh, like I get the game. Like it's basically to collect OX. And then they start like, okay, like I do care about OX denomination. This makes much more sense. Like if I'm using the platform is denominated in OX. I should basically just think of OX as the platform's dollars.
I think that like it's in the name, it says OX.FUN, and I think the entire platform, the way to think about it is that like the entire platform has all these little features that should make the exchange fun to trade on, to literally farm OX and like get as much OX as possible and accumulate as much as possible. I think that's like the embodiment of what of what OX is, except it's kind of difficult to like get a grasp for most retail users of like all these different features and why they're even there and what the point of it all is.
This guy asked a question. Said,
you go for it.
Sorry, he said APR by P&L. So the reason we can't show the APR by P&L is just because we could show like a rolling average maybe per couple days or week or something like that. But bear in mind that the P&L of users on the exchange is always varying. So like if we showed an API, it would just be like it'd be a bit tricky to calculate. It'd be like always fluctuating and stuff like that. Like maybe one day you'd go and it'd say 1%. One day you'd go and it'd be like minus 10%. One day you're going to be like plus 100%. So yeah, I think we're going to be adding some more views to, a bit more visibility and understanding for people as time goes on. But generally that's kind of why it's a bit tricky to show the APR by P&L. So right now we show the APR by funding. We're going to also integrate the 30% fees into that too, hopefully later this week. That should be live. We'll let you know when. But yeah.
I think the reason that I think he was asking about that in the context of the leaderboard, by the way. Like I think he's like wondering like how to see the APR and the reason that we don't really show the APR on the leaderboard is because as it is a function of the exchange's daily volume, And that actually fluctuates really heavily depending on like how much the market is doing. So like, if it's like a high volume week overall for the markets, then like there's just going to be a very high APR. And if it's a low volume week, then it's going to be very low APR. So it does fluctuate a lot. But if there's a way that you guys would like to see that, or like a time frame that you would like to see, like a rolling APR average, like for sure, let us know, because we're still trying to find like the best way to display it that doesn't confuse people.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll upload this whole stream as a video on YouTube, and obviously it'll be on Twitter as well for anyone who wants to see it. I think what I'm going to do is, or definitely going to do is over the next couple of days, I'm going to make some more sit-down, scripted, explaining videos on all of the stuff that we covered in this stream specifically, with some nice kind of like visuals on screen to explain it. That way, users can have a bit more understanding, and that way people can get informed, ask more questions. We can go more in depth if people need. So yeah, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think for me, when I was playing around with the platform, and I was like, okay, it's been a while since I've touched the centralized exchange, and you got to realize like a lot of people who are being onboarded with like Moonshot and Phantom and like Apple Pay and stuff just have like no idea how any of this stuff works. So I was like kind of looking through for documentation or like ways, and I don't mind playing around and learning things. It just felt like there were too many knobs and dials for me to like actually figure out like, okay, what is the game here? And it's pretty clear now that the game is like stack as much OX as you can, right? Because OX has like the highest collateral ratio, right? But also like you can earn the best yield from OX. And even if you win big on the P&L, you get incentivized in OX. So it's basically make money, sit in OX, earn yield on your OX, get enough P&L that you earn more OX. It's just like become an OX maxi, right? Like that's the that's like the ideal way to like make it on OX.FUN. It's like the platform succeeds because you're trading on it. That's like a flywheel that kicks into the yield that you earn. Then you have a high P&L, so you earn more OX. So yeah, I think as well one thing that I'd like is OX tokenomics as well. I don't think, do you guys have like a pie chart or a breakdown of everything?
So actually, yeah, I think we're missing some of the proper tokenomics from the specifically from like the docs, but we do in the. I'll pull up my screen. Hang on. Boom. Let me switch my view.
Here, I have to hop out here really quick to go to dinner, but I love you all. I trust Nico. He's a great explainer. Godspeed. Scorch says hello to everyone here. Later, guys.
Scorch. Yeah, everything is also explained here. So you can basically go through here and you can see everything on the token. Analytics, use cases, story of it, all this kind of stuff. The old OX tokens. But yeah, we should add more about the fees, and this actually needs to be updated for some of the recent stuff. So we'll get that done.
No, thanks. That's new because when I looked into this was like a month ago. So thanks for adding that. I remember I congratulated Lukas for like how much like OX has done in volume. But it turns out it was like a different exchange. It was like the claims exchange back in the day. So it's obviously a lot has changed since then, and you guys are like killing it with volume now. So it makes sense. But yeah, like I think especially like pump funds, right? It's like 20 like whatever percentage it is, right? Goes into like it needs to hit this market cap and then it gets bonded. It's like very easy for people to understand, and it like shows you the top holders and stuff. Whereas I think as OX is used as like liquidity across like so many pairs, right? And when you type OX into Dex Screener, you get like OX Retardio, OX ETH, OX Sol, and like Dex Screener is like retarded now, and it shows like base pairs first for some reason, or like it's just like a total mess. Like when people are like, okay, how do I buy the OX token? It's like, well, you should actually buy it like on OX.FUN. You should earn it, right? So
yeah, we're making it so that you can basically do everything within the platform and you never have to leave. So we're going to be integrating D-Bridge, so you can swap from any token to OX and then from OX to any token regardless of chain. We're putting together more of these like graphics, like what I have here on screen, and Yoaquim also posted a really good one yesterday or the day before as well, on basically where all of the OX fees are currently going every day. There's then also directly on the exchange at the top, you can see the breakdown of the burn here as well. You can also then go and see all of the contracts for the token. We're going to be adding some information around just a view to basically see what all the liquidity is of all these things in one place. What else? You can see the burns that are happening daily, see how much is going over time. You can see here, it's like these big spikes are basically days where the exchange is doing a lot of volume, therefore burning a lot of fees. You can see what percentage of circulating supply is left. So right now it's like 72%. So yeah, we're just constantly adding more information to get everyone more clued up. And I think that now is very much the time to do that, considering we're getting a lot more attention.
Nice. Yeah, I guess that answers. I'd love to do more of these calls as well, by the way, because I'm still learning. Like, I planned maybe like 10 trades on OXFUN. I think my first P&L, a long Doge, and I made like $1. Then I got liquidated on something. Like, my OX balances are like incredibly small just because I don't understand the platform. And I also feel like if you don't understand something, you're just like 10x like more likely to just like completely liquidate your account. So like, I did get liquidated. And then I'm like, what the hell are these milk tokens? And that's what I asked you, like on a call like the other week, Nico. But like, I'm down to do more of these and like just explore like how to make yield, like what trades are good, how to maybe short the daily runner, right? Like that's really, I think shorting car at like 800 mil would have made for a really good live stream because you guys definitely had it listed by then, right? You're pretty proactive with the listings.
For sure, yeah.
So yeah, like I'm down to like actually make some money on Ox. I feel like there's a lot of free loot. Just like if you can figure out how to short like whatever, what was it today? Like I don't know, 8chan or whatever. Like whatever went to like whatever like goes absolutely nuts and the LA vape cabal is like pushing. Just like short it when they when they're on stream, but just like they'll eventually end the stream and it'll go down. So yeah.
Yeah, people were speaking about, was it this one? Was it Harry Bowles? Yeah, this one. I mean, yeah, we'd love to list as much of this stuff as we can. I mean, try to have a bit of just be smart about it. Like if it's gonna maybe die the next day, then we might not like list it unless it like gets super big and its demand is super crazy. But yeah, it's there's just so much opportunity on Ox, and I guess that's why we built it. Like the reason we started in the first place was because I was very close to the Pump Fun guys, kind of saw the success they had with that, and like prior to it, Pump Fun was always kind of big from the start, but like when it was still growing, I just like really felt like memes were going to be taking over the space so much, and being able to trade these things with leverage, like in all directions, using all of these memes that survive and get big, like as collateral also. We wanted to build a platform that was like very composable and modular in terms of like what you could use and what you could do. And it's honestly been going super well, and like it's been fucking awesome to get some like good feedback from the community and like interest from new guys that are liking the platform, especially with some guys recently who have been trading super well, making some good money on it. So that's great to see. And they share it with their friends and stuff. So I think we're really hitting a point where we've got some good traction here and really catching that hyperliquid beta. But at the same time, I think that Ox is very much able to stay in its own lane, doing its own stuff.
Yeah, I think for me, just the tokenomics of Ox are just like way better than like Hyperliquid, and it also gives you an opportunity where if you've missed the run, which it's like almost impossible to catch every runner, right? I've missed like Vine, I've basically missed every runner since like Trump. It's like this gives you the opportunity to like make it back, and if you can see like a 10% move like coming on Trump or like some of these smaller coins, it's like load up on the leverage and like get those gains, right? Like it's a pretty logical conclusion for like what the next part of the cycle is, and I think value will flow to the top, and there'll be a few top coins which like just absolutely crush it in terms of gains. Like Fart coin might be the only Pump Fun coin that goes back to $1 billion, right? And then all the other ones. So it's like if it's going to go from 500 mil to $1 billion, open a 10x long. Like Hyperliquid only lets you go 3x long, so open a long, or I think you can even do 20x, right, on some of the big ones.
Yeah, it depends. Basically, the leverage on each coin depends on the size of the coin. Basically, bigger the coin, more leverage we usually allow. Position limits are pretty much unlimited. The only thing that's limited is the amount, like, is the kind of like position you can take in terms of the collateral that you're using. So, like, maybe the max position you can take using Fart coin as collateral is like 1 or 2 mil margin. I'm sure the exactly is right now. But these are all things that we can increase as demand increases. It's just what we've set it as right now because it makes sense.
I'm bullish. I'm gonna go buy some more Ox after this. Might as well just have it as collateral, right? Like I was
Undervalued.
close to getting, I was close to getting liquidated on like a short, and then I just decided, fuck it, I'll deposit more SOL, like lower my liquidation price. So unless like ticker Bitcoin goes to 5 cents, which I don't see it doing, I'm like not going to get liquidated. So I can go to sleep knowing that my position is pretty safe. Like that's a pretty nice benefit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nico, before you head off, don't forget to shill the live stream you have tonight.
What, with the bearer guy? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll be doing that as a live stream or just recording it offline and then uploading it after. I think it'll probably be that. But to be fair, if when I jump on with Mr. Jack Barrow, if he's down to do it as a live stream, I'm down to do it live. That could actually be fun. Like isn't that's literally the thread guy play, right? Like he just live streams all the shit and then it's basically the same thing. He uploads it afterwards. I'll ask him. I'll see if he's down.
Yeah. All right. I might have a live stream coming tomorrow with Will from Jupiter. I'll be doing that on.
Who's Will from Jupiter?
I think you know him. Just search up Will McFletcher. There you go.
Oh, he's at Jupiter now. Oh, yeah. No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know he worked for Jupiter. I know this guy. He's used to be always commenting on my stuff. Love this guy.
So I might have that coming, and then we'll try Thursday to do one of the live streams with onboarding, just helping people understand OX.
Yep.
Etc. So we'll see if you can get on that too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you want me to jump on later with Will at all, let me know. I actually haven't chatted to him on call at all, but I used to message him a lot back and forth.
Sounds good. So live streams coming, informative things
always
for
more live streams.
So lots of stuff cooking. I need to head to bed. I'm not gonna lie. It's 6 a.m. boys.
Bro, it's like Sue just reposted the stream now, like just as we're about to end. So like now we'll get like a flood of users. Let me see if Luna wants to join. If you want to drop off,
I'm happy to stay on, Nico. I'm like probably going to get a parking fine.
No stress.
Ox can pay for it, right?
Well, you know what? Yes, I'll pay for a parking fine. Don't worry. Right, what are you doing? You just sitting in the car park? What are you doing?
Oh no, like I'm in. A friend invited me to his office today, so I'm just like taking this meeting here. Try not to say anything too crazy. I was just at home, and then like I thought, fuck it, might as well get out. Sometimes I just get out of the house for the sake of like not being cramped at home. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Are you in the office or are you at home?
I'm currently actually in Bali just for this week, and then I'm heading to Hong Kong Consensus next week. I'm here because we're sponsoring. Let me put it up actually. We are sponsoring Mr. Eric, who is currently 6-0 in Crypto Fight Night, and we're basically sponsoring him. So I'm come here to do some training with him. We've got a longer form like video, I guess, mini series on training with him and stuff like that. And like he's a pretty big Bitcoin guy and has some pretty interesting thoughts on the market. So it should be a cool thing. We're gonna maybe upload like the first part of it later today or something. So I'm just here training with him, and then we'll probably head back to either Taiwan in the office with the other guys, or thinking about maybe even coming back to Bali myself with some of the other guys and training, because I think I might be doing a Crypto Fight Night myself soon. So I feel like the training out here is definitely much better. And if I'm gonna do it, I need to win. Like I can't do a Crypto Fight Night and lose as a CEO. Like that just can't. The aura, the negative aura, like would just be too bad. I can't risk it.
The OX price would just like tank 50% in one day.
Just tank. Yeah, exactly.
Half the team would quit, bro. Come on.
Half the team would quit. Yeah, they were like, "Who is this? It's poser, bro." Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What are you trading at the moment, Nico?
I'm trading a bit of stuff day to day, the new stuff. I trade a bit of like kind of mainly like Bitcoin and SOL wherever I see opportunity. I don't trade ETH too much right now just because it's so uncertain and I'm not that bullish on it, so I don't really like trading it. But I like trading Bitcoin and SOL. I'll trade a couple like alts here and there where I see opportunities, but recently I feel like the past week I haven't been trading as much just because I've been focusing on some of the content stuff and streaming and Just there's been a lot of like big kind of improvements and guys that we've been onboarding for Ox. I've just been super focused on that. But I'll try to get back into trading a bit more over the next couple of weeks.
I feel like it's been a boring, like Bitcoin below 100K is kind of boring, right? Like,
yeah, market's just very indecisive right now. Like moves are not like huge, so I'm kind of looking to position myself for like the next big move if I can catch it, which I feel personally, I think that I think we're going to see something like this. That's why I've got these arrows on the chart. I think that similar to like this kind of like range on Sol here, I think that you see it kind of like chop in, either like this sort of 200 to 185 kind of region, or maybe come down even a bit lower to like 170, and you see it kind of range there before you see it really potentially, hopefully, make some new highs. I personally don't think that the market is quite done just yet. I think that it's a kind of a random example, but like we see Dave Portnoy speaking about why is everyone selling my coin? Like you guys don't realize how big I am and how many of retail I can onboard. But the point he makes about the fact that retail still doesn't even know what a phantom wallet is and how to set any of this stuff up, like I completely agree with him, right? And I don't have it in front of me, but it's like there are stats around, for example, like YouTube views on crypto YouTubers, for example. And if you look at the metrics of last cycle compared to this one, this is a way more like retail driven cycle and a way more content driven cycle than like the last one is. And that's by nature of like each cycle, just everyone's going online more, like tech and is better, etc. like that. So I think that you just look at some of those stats. I think price maybe felt inflated up here. And yes, it's like post-Trump and all that. And you're like, okay, what other big catalyst is coming? Like you've already had a Trump meme coin, Trump won the election. Like what else is left to really pump this market? But, I'm not saying it's going to pump like tomorrow or like necessarily in 1 month. It might be in a couple months, but like generally at some point, at least within like, I think Trump's presidency and over the next like year or two for sure, hopefully later this year, I think you should see like the market generally grow and go up more, because I just don't think we're anywhere near to like peak saturation with like retail sentiment.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think there's like, when you're Uber drivers and start talking about crypto, right? Like that's usually the top, or your barbers, or Coinbase is like the #1 downloaded app. Like I don't think we've seen that blow off the top yet. Like I see ads for like crypto.
No.
Like
I'm not even gonna lie. Like 4 months ago, like I had like 2-3 Uber drivers in a row that were like talking about crypto. They were just like scrolling on their phone, checking charts. And I was just like, yo, you trade crypto? He's like, yeah. What you do crypto? I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, what's the best token? I was like, I don't know. I'm not gonna give you financial advice, buddy, but like maybe like Bitcoin, I guess. He was like, no, it's Caspa.
Yeah.
So the Uber driver alpha says buy Caspa, boys. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean Uber drivers make money on like XRP and other stuff, right? Like it's everyone makes, and like if you think about it as well, right? XRP going into like Trump's, where US coins, get tax benefits or whatever, like it makes sense why some of these coins pumped, but I don't think we've seen a proper bull run until ETH breaks its all-time high. I think that's when we're going to get like a full-blown alt market, because so many coins are paired with ETH liquidity, especially like DeFi coins. So I think like we haven't seen it yet. We've seen memes run, but like if you look at Dogecoin, it hasn't broken all-time high.
But when you say yet, you mean like it's yet to come this cycle, like a super cycle type shit, or you're more meaning like this just over, cycle. Like this just cooked?
No, like I don't think we're cooked. I think Trump being in, if we had like Kamala or someone else in, the bull run would be done this year, just like every other year. I think now that Trump's in, it's like 4 years of like, probably end, we'll see like Bitcoin at $1 million by like 2030, right? So like what happens between, like I have no idea. Like Bitcoin could go to 70K, then 250, then range at like 140. We could see some really crazy shit this cycle. So yeah, but all the major gains are made on Bitcoin, right? Like, you know, you need leverage now to actually make money on Bitcoin. You can't buy like $10 a Bitcoin and it's $1 million, like, you know, a couple of years later. Those days are gone. So like you need, that's why everyone's chasing like the ETH and the Sol trenches and like whatever else, right? I don't think anyone's chasing ETH right now, but also like ETH, yeah, ETH pump will, like, I think will break out like the alt market. So that's my take on what I think happens, but I have no idea when it's happening. Could be 3 months, could be 6 months. So I'm just like, outside of like OX stuff, I'm just like accumulating ETH and like just, you know, praying it goes up one day. But I do not see like ETH, you know, I think when it starts putting in candles, it will like jump to like 3K, then 4K, like within a matter of a week, like within a week. It did that last time, right? When it pumps, it like revenge pumps, but like until it breaks all-time high, I don't think we'll actually get like a full-blown like alt market, right? Where like Uniswap or Aave or like Chainlink or any of these other coins like really run until ETH starts to run. That's just like my take. I'm just a fucking retard, so you know,
No, I think
can't figure out how to use OX.
The question for me is not so much like what happens if ETH pumps, but just if ETH pumps, you know, like in isolation.
If.
Yeah, it's like
I think it will, and I think it'll be a really good revenge pump. Like I'm a big ETH maxi, but I think ETH players are playing a very different game to Solana. So like ETH, you know, everyone's made their money on ETH, and it goes from like, you know, 2.5K to 10K. They're like over the moon. Whereas everyone on Solana is like young and greedy and like ready, like, you know, ready to hit the casino like every single day and like dive into the trenches. So I think like ETH is a much more boring play. It will run eventually, but like everyone on ETH is like earning yield and has like stable coins and, you know, restaking and all this shit. So I don't even think they care if ETH runs. Whereas everyone on Solana is like trying to push it. They're trying to get every single person onto using Solana, right? Whereas ETH is just like it's a slow, comfy hold. Like I don't see ETH going below $2,000 like this cycle. But yeah. Whereas I am uncertain, like holding Sol. Like I just don't know. Could go to 170. I think it's topped at 300 at least for a little while. Maybe we get a blow off the top and it goes nuts. But yeah, I think you want to be like moving some gains into ETH just for safety.
Or into OX.
Or into OX, yeah. OX is better, higher LTV.
Or put your ETH in LLP and earn OX. Yeah, let's wrap this up. I still haven't showered from training, so I need to.
Okay, fair.
Thank you very much for coming on, guys. I hope everyone watching enjoyed. I hope it was informative. We'll do some more and I'll get you guys back on anytime.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Peace. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. See ya.
See ya.